Hi folks, welcome live to the World Cup. So we are at the quarter-final stage, and these are the teams that have made it through. So I recorded the video yesterday, but had some problems with it. Just in case it doesn't get uploaded, I will go through this again. So quarter-finals, top 4 teams from each group have made it through, and so we have Catalonia and China that won their groups, and the bracket works out like this, so they are in opposite sides, and we have Catalonia against the USA and Austria against France in the top half, and the bottom is China against Italy and the Czech Republic against Germany. And I believe right now all the pairings are still undecided, so should be quite interesting. So last night we had what would be last night? We had some games in the Austria against France matchup that were quite interesting. I was hoping someone would stream that, but looks like they did not get streamed or recorded, unfortunately. And today we are going to focus on these two. China against Italy. 2 games coming up in just a few minutes. And we can have a look at the situation. I don't believe this is fully updated. So yeah, 2 wins each in this spreadsheet, but I believe actually that China, yeah, the one we had yesterday, this one, Knights of the Hollow Hill against Lanny Crossing, was also won by China. So China has 3 wins, Italy has 2, which means that China needs one of the last 2, and Italy needs them both to finish on 4 wins, which would be a draw, and then an extra game would be played. But if either team gets to 5 wins, then they win outright, and it's over. So yeah, let's have a look at what we will be covering today. Just a second, let's see if anyone is joining me on commentary today. Surprise, surprise, no volunteers. Well, no matter. So let's have a look. The first game should be the Bara one, right? Sorry, just a second. Yeah, here we go. Baratheon Wars against Targaryen Free Companies, and we have the decks for you here. So this is China's Bara Wars deck. I've played some Bara Wars in recent years with White Ravens. This is not that kind of deck. As you can see, it's yeah, just a pretty typical Baratheon control deck with Throne and Chamber and some Nil in here, and then a cheeky copy of Ritual of Lore, which I'm hoping gets played. That's an underplayed card. And the lore characters with Cor Melisandre are the basis for the character set here. So we have Red Priest as the restricted card. Usually Baratheon decks in recent times are taking Traitor to the Crown because Storm's End is popular, but this deck does not play Storm's End, so Red Priest is the card of choice here. And yeah, lots of room for plots here. So we have some interesting ones. We have Winter Festivals and Heads on Spikes that can gain some quick power. We have Exposed Duplicity just in case it's up against Shadows, and Duel with no high cost characters except for Selisi that I can see. The one that gains power for Dominance, Fist for Crows also here. So yeah, not really that bothered about war plots. I guess Heads on Spikes have the trait, and Duel has the trait, right? But if the game goes really long, then some power will be given away for prized. Has the game started? It has. So let's just quickly have a look at the Targaryen deck as well. So Italy's Targaryen deck is Free Companies, and that usually means mercenaries, right? So we have Tyrion that can put cards into play from the discard pile. We have Aegon as the restricted card that can grab mercenaries. We have 3 copies of Dario Naharis. We have Golden Company, so this is all pretty typical. And 3 copies of Lissonomar, the new champ card from Reinhard Shevchik, that actually seems to be working out pretty well for people. And of course Vargo here as well. And what do we have? We have Seized by the Guard. Has nice synergy with the agenda that can put gold on cards, so that could be annoying for Baratheon if this finds itself on either the throne or the chamber, especially I guess the throne. That makes it difficult to just win dominance on demand. Flea Bottom is here, Meereen is here. Okay, and this for negative attachments won't have that much work. The Iron Bank, another staple, and the events, so Unbridled Generosity can put gold on cards, and this fetches Mercenaries from your deck. And what do we have in the plots? We have Summer Harvest, interesting, with open deck lists. Pentoshi for the economy, there's Brand the Builder, there's Close Call, and we have Morgulis and the Father as plots that can disrupt the opponent. And on the other side we only have Dohaeris in the 10 plots, so interesting, and no Close Call. So if Morgulis hits nicely, then could be trouble. So let's join the game. And this is what our setup was like. So we have Lisono in play for Targaryen, and the Iron Bank, nice, in round 1. Fully loaded Begging Brother to annoy Melisandre, and that seems to be a pretty decent start. But on the other side we have Pentoshi that is conceding some gold, so should be a nice start with Winter Festival that will of course also hit, and Throne is here all ready to make sure dominance is won. Asset seized on the throne, there is also Edric in play now, and yeah, Fiery Followers still might be tricky, even if you seize the throne to compete for dominance against this Baratheon deck, so maybe just go for the chamber instead. And let's see how aggressive the Begging Brother is here. So does it cancel these minor abilities because it can get refilled, or does it concentrate on the big ones like Melisandre? The draw, we'll see. No, it does not cancel the draw. Yeah, so no Robert Baratheon, right, in the deck, the one that keeps stuff knelt. Against mercenaries that like to jump a lot, maybe it wouldn't even be that impactful, but yeah, the kneel basically is just Melisandre, right? One copy of Silisi, but now I don't think anything will get past the Begging Brother. And here comes Lisono with his annoying ability. And not defended, which makes sense, I guess, pushing the power challenge through back when Baratheon is the active player in the challenger's phase seems like the plan here. And this is a nice hit, so she was going to be countered by the Begging Brother anyway, but yeah, she is the main character, it seems, of this deck. Only one copy of Milk to get rid of Begging Brother. So that's the only challenge for Targaryen, and now Baratheon's turn. Let's see what gets defended. So if this gets defended by Second Sons, then seems like Baratheon can push the power challenge through, right? And is Brown Ben Plum getting claimed here? Yeah. And now what to do? Is it really important to push the power challenge through, or do you go for Intrigue with Acolyte? And all of them can be defended actually, so yeah, not much to be done. So Vodka not wasting time here, just passing and getting the Winter Festival. And dominance, Bang Brother is not going to bother about fiery followers. Or is it? Is it close? Let's see what the dominance score was in the end. 18-8, so not that close. Even with 3 characters, one of them fairly big. The Iron Throne still more than big enough here. And yeah, one of the things I like to do in Baratheon quite often in this type of deck is when you get the early power, you can play a big set down or deeds to get a bunch of cards, but don't see that card in the deck. I can't include everything. But this is fairly basic, right? Just all the typical cards are in there, and I wonder, so China has done really well. I wonder how this deck has performed in particular. Has it been winning games? I'm guessing probably yes. Heads on spikes, continuing with the rush, and it hits. It's a Golden Company. Yeah, that's tricky for Targaryen, because even if Targaryen gets a nice board position that dominates, and it can, of course, with the much bigger characters than Baratheon has on offer, Heads on Spikes and Winter Festivals could just keep hitting, right? There's 3 more to be played. There's 2 copies of both plots in the deck, and then you get close to victory. Whatever happens in Feast for Crows as well. So just see Baratheon rely on plots for the power gain and just do nothing special in the challenges phase, just oppose what they can and push the challenges through if there is an opening. And we have Daario Naharis, who can of course stand, in this particular deck, stand characters on his own side, like the big Second Sons or Lisono. And on the other side it can grab, yeah, it can grab Acolyte, for instance. That is important if the boards are small. Here they are not, though. Oh, okay. So Begging Brother can deal with Gendry, just keeps cancelling him, right? But the Chamber is difficult, more difficult to deal with. And now I think Targaryen has found itself in trouble very early here. And yeah, if Targaryen does challenges here, it's just power going on the faction card for potentially for the Chamber to steal. So we have Morghulis. We have the pointy end if Gendry goes crazy, but as I said, he's not going to. And what else do we have? We have the father. It's not great on these boards. And we have yeah, that's just about it. Of course, if you Morghulis, then Throne and Chamber become that much stronger. So is there any rush potential here? Any way to get quick power? Vargo Hout, I guess, if he was in play with Daario Naharis and maybe a Plaza of Pride, Golden Company can get renown, right? One of them was just killed, unfortunately, but there are 2 more copies. And there's a tricky power challenge with Lisono. If it's opposed very strongly, you can let it through if you can't win it. And it's not opposed very strongly, just with 3, so maybe we'll see this guy or maybe Lisono for the insight just come into this challenge. Brand the Builder, of course, triggers as well. and does not find any card. That's disappointing. 17 locations in the deck and only 4 of them in play. Well, there's another chance. Then if you at least find Marine, that can find you other cards, right? Oh, cancelling the military challenge. That would have been one with a renowned guy and trigger Brand the Builder again. In the name of your king, one from the old times, 1 copy in the deck. And remember, we saw Ritual of Lore in the deck, so there's currently 3 lore characters in play. Yeah, 3. And if Vodka is on something like 10 power with the Ritual of Lore in hand and some gold, then that just wins the game with Throne and Chamber and Gendry potentially in dominance. So very interesting card. I've never seen it played successfully. I've tried it, but yeah, it hasn't really worked out. So Intrigue Challenge goes through for Vodka and gets rid of Old Bilbone, not the most impactful character. And I'm guessing this one now gets fully defended. Or in fact even cancelled. Okay, again, just not bothering because it's getting defended. Could have done a combination, I guess, military and then power with the other 2. That had half a chance, right? So Firefall stands, no gold for that Ritual of Lore. But we have the Throne and Chamber trigger. Of course, the cancel for Gendry. Even though I think the father possibly could get him at any point, but yeah, might be too late by then if he just starts grabbing power here. And that's Vodka up to 7. So what now? Another Winter Festival, another Heads on Spikes. 3 cards in hand, maybe go for that Heads on Spikes. Or Feast for Crows was the other option I was thinking of, but going for Counting Coppers. So yeah, playing a Summer Plot here. Guess getting Golden Company. Just in case there was Winter Festival, there's another answer for that. Summer Harvest wasn't played as the opening. Unfortunately, because Winter Festival was on the other side. And okay, Close Call draws some more, but Counting Coppers does as well. Now seems like Baratheon has a lot of options and really no need to play much else at this point. Just keep the cards for after Morghulis, right? So you can't get any dupes on these. Okay, and this is now better for Targaryen, getting some of the pieces. Dario duped, Tyrion bestowed, he can get Renowned Body now. This is, and duplicated as well, so now threat of Morghulis even more valid, I guess. So at the end of the phase, they're placed on the bottom. You can't really prevent that, I don't think. Even Golden Company only says from return to hand. So if you put renown bodies into play, you're not going to keep them. More draw for Alistair. That's all left through, because Begging Brother needs to cancel other stuff. It will need to cancel Gendry and probably Alistair, right, when Morghulis is played. Don't want Dario Nelt. Yeah, I'm thinking about this one. So problem is, whatever challenge he does is going to gain power, right? And that just goes back to Baratheon with that chamber. And this time there is 3 gold left to play Ritual Overlord and no Hand's Judgment. Okay, no longer 3 gold, so Marshall's just a Kingsgate. That makes sense, in my opinion, because we have 2 duped characters, we have Morghulis in the deck, so yeah, if you draw a bunch of those Acolytes and Vanguard Lancers, better to just keep them. And removing power that could potentially have been stolen. Of course, there is also this. So if Dario just gains it on himself, you can put that on the faction card. And another problem, actually that's not so much a problem, it turns into a benefit, right? Because Baratheon is playing wars, so plots will start gaining price, and then if Targaryen stays on 0 power, so that the chamber can't do anything, yeah, you're giving prize away to be stolen back with the chamber. Again, can't really commit on defense that power challenge because of Lisono's ability. So Alistair again just defends. Usually he's quite easy to spend, right? Because you know that you could potentially kill him. So you defend with him early, but I think this time he will be kept. Because there's 2 duped characters and he can trigger on Morghulis to kneel one of them. There's no plaza at the moment. Yeah, it would be good to have this guy permanently in play, this Golden Company, so that could get some renown and Dario could stand it, right? He's a mercenary. But then, of course, Baratheon has another answer even for that, because the Harris is in the deck. And Duel is in the deck as well, which is currently turned off, but as soon as a potentially more renown in the form of Vargo Hout enters play, then Duel can strike. So feeling quite pessimistic here for Italy. So I believe these are the last two games. I'm not sure I got the score correctly at the start, because the spreadsheet is not fully updated. So we'll have another look after this game to get confirmation what the score is and what needs to happen in the last game. So guys, the one count that sort of matters here is the dominance one. Can Targaryen ever get enough strength to get past the throne fully? (17) on defense, for instance, and with the throne it's only 16 for Baratheon at the moment, assuming Edric gets cancelled. Of course, Baratheon is still doing challenges that simply need to be opposed in some way, otherwise you're conceding power for that. Makes sense, defending with the inside character, getting an extra card. And now it's no longer enough to win dominance, right? Now Baratheon is taking it, and we see if Vodka again just passes. And this time he plays Sin in Flames. He's going to get rid of the most annoying card. Gets rid of the Rose Row. That's I don't know what to make of that, really. Hand must be really bad, or there must be something that he doesn't want in the discard pile. So of course this deck works brilliantly with the discard pile because of Tyrion. And yeah, that's it. Now let's see what Begging Brother does. So it's not going to bother with the stand ability, right, and with Edric. They won't achieve much, so just going to cancel Gendry again, possibly. And then if you play Morghulis, you leave 1 gold to cancel Alistair. All of you play Morghulis, maybe don't really need to cancel it, but then, yeah, right, this fiefdom in the standing phase can save it, so yeah. Oh, Sin in Flames taking the Rose Road, so that means maybe 2 characters and you play Heads on Spikes. Is that the plan? Yeah, I missed that completely. So that has to be what the plan is for Vodka, so that's guaranteed 2 power possibly here. No, okay, wrong again. Wrong again with the plot, but not necessarily with the guaranteed 2 power. That could still very well happen here. And that would be very close then. And this shouldn't happen, so Begging Brother should be in play to cancel the Neil effect here. Because they are killed simultaneously. Just wondering if it gets questioned now, so okay. Players seem to think that resolved correctly. That could be important actually. And that counting coppers was well timed, I think, for Baratheon earlier, because now there's a full hand and we might see just more of what was in play before. Just a bunch of chuds that will simply not concede unopposed and do challenges back to force unopposed, to force defenders. These guys, well, now that there are no begging brothers, can just trigger. I'm guessing it won't if there's just two characters in play, so something else needs to come out. And it doesn't, okay, and no power icons, so a bit too optimistic with that one, I guess. I was thinking Baratheon had a better hand and not using the reducer at all for either of these cards. So there's no claim. There won't be a huge swing here, but seems like this worked out alright for Targaryen, and I wonder, so we had 3 characters marshaled here of the 4 cards, so Searing Flames must have seen that there are characters, could have played Heads on Spikes, killed Vargo Hout for instance. Could it have been a misclick? Maybe he wants to keep war plots for later, so as not to give prize away, but I think Baratheon is so close to winning actually here. Kings get sacrificed for more draw, even though Motka is over reserve. So there must be 0 characters, because there's still a Port and a King's Road. Could have marshaled anything he has in his deck really, with that kind of gold. And just about enough to win dominance. If Begging Brother cancelled the kneel, then it wouldn't have been enough with this kind of board, and Fist or Cross would have fizzled. Now does this guy trigger? He does, so now if that one card in hand is a character, and he played Searing Flames, so if this was in hand at that time and he knows about it, then he has a guaranteed win, it seems. Wrong again. Okay, so he plays duel, and this time it will hit. So as I said, first time they were in play together. It's just going to do a bunch of damage, and Summer Harvest, I guess, there to block Winter Festival. I just can't see Baratheon losing, even with 0 board. There's 2 plots that just gain power, right? Can't really bring it down to below that 13, 12, 11, whatever, where those plots could just do their thing, and you still need to just basically pass and not concede Throne and Chamber, assuming there's empty boards, which now are, of course is not going to be the case with King's Kingsgate triggering to get more cards. Surely now there is something. And another one of these guys can be played on himself if he has two. Does he have two in the deck? He does. That's one of my favorite ways to win. Let's see if he has another one. Yeah, must do. And okay, nice one from Vodka here. So had so much power gained in stupid ways that couldn't really be countered by the Targaryen deck here. Yeah, very impressive. So choosing a good stuff agenda to just put all the good stuff cards in and all the passive ways to gain power with dominance and with plots, and seems to work quite nicely. So good luck in the next round, says Kaksone. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Let's see what the name is here actually. Which game was this? This one. Oh, Alex. Okay. So that suggests that China is true. Now let's get confirmation. So it's 2 wins each in the spreadsheet, and we had what was played already. Let's see, this one for China, so that's 3-2, and we had the one just now is 4-2, so there should still be 2 games that are not entered. One is the one that is supposed to follow in the calendar. That's Dark Trident versus Tyrell Whitebook. And there is also the Night's Watch Mirror that has not been entered, but has it been played? Let's see when that was supposed to be. What does this say? Thursday, so okay, so that seems like it should be gone by now and wasn't entered on the spreadsheet, so it looks like China possibly won that one. Let us know if anyone knows for sure. And that would mean that's 5 wins, right? For 5 wins for China and only 2 for Italy, so Italy can no longer win. There's one more game to come, which I assume is going to be played on time, which is in 25 minutes and not immediately. So I guess we'll end it here, have some lunch, and then come back with the other game. If anyone, of course, is still interested in that. That's the only one that is still to be played this afternoon, so I can't really give you anything more decisive. But okay, so thanks for joining me on this stream, and see you in 20 minutes or so for the other game.